Oh, perfect wave. Alright, there you go. Hello everybody, the Dark Date here. So I guess I'm throwing this video up essentially because I want to give some feedback on a product I got. What's going on over here? So instead of I guess boring you guys, you know, with a unboxing video or my ugly face, I figured I'd give some feedback. So this is more or less directed on a AIO that I purchased. So that's an all-in-one water cooling unit. And I noticed a comment that I had on one of my videos. Oh, this guy puts out electricity. I noticed a comment on one of my videos basically asking me, you know, how does the product work for me? So to give you an idea, I will put all the, would you get out of my way? I'll put all the specs in the description for my system, but essentially I'm running a i7 5820K overclocked at 4.4 gigahertz, stable at a 1.321 voltage, and that's on non-stop 24/7 365. I have 64 gigs of RAM, and I average about between 48 to 52 degrees as far as the temperature on the CPU. Full load, it's about, I don't know, between 70 and 90, I guess. I mean, it does throttle. So the temperatures are pretty good. It really depends on your temperature inside of your room or your house or wherever you have the PC. So basically, there's not really much on the internet as far as this particular unit from Swiftech. So first off, let me say that I went ahead and I bought the unit myself. So, you know, obviously, you know, Swiftech didn't send me a free unit or anything. I bought my first unit at my local micro center, and it was a total dud. Like, there were certain things to the water cooler that didn't work. The PWM splitter that it came with didn't work. The lights weren't working that light around the reservoir. So I took it back to Micro Center and I got my money back, and I'm like, you know what, I'll try Amazon. Maybe they got a better batch. So I get my one from Amazon, and lo and behold, I want to say maybe a month later or something like that, or 2 months later, it totally crapped out on me. So this was probably the worst case scenario. I currently run two GTX 1080s from NVIDIA Founders Edition cards in SLI, and I had a Roswell 1000 watt, I believe, platinum or bronze or gold power supply. It was a good power supply. It's held up fine for years, and part of the water cooling unit started to leak over all of my equipment. Now I'm in a very lucky position that I caught it in time, sort of, but it did leak on my power supply. That in turn, made my power supply not work anymore. So I was starting to have all sorts of issues. My system wasn't booting, my motherboard was acting up. And then I go and I find out that it actually leaked over my video cards. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some pictures up right now. The picture you're looking at now is from the video card, and you can see obviously that I had to take it apart. And then there's another image from the power supply where you can see there's, I believe, some green liquid that went in it, and that's all because it started to leak partly by the pump for no particular reason. You know, I didn't move my PC around, I didn't stick my hand in there and start jiggling the tubes around or anything. This just happened by itself from Swiftech. Now when you go and you buy an all-in-one unit, you want to make sure that, okay, it's going to hold up fine and it's never going to leak, because that's kind of the purpose of all-in-one water coolers, right? I mean, you want to buy it, forget it. I mean, you don't want to have to worry about changing the liquid out. You don't have to worry about, you know, the parts malfunctioning. I mean, granted, this is an expandable AIO, so maybe that kind of is a risk you take. But when I buy something, especially on that caliber, I expect it to work and not break. I mean, and think about it, it was my second unit already. So now I gotta RMA it. My power supply is blown, right? Because it leaked all over my power supply. And then it leaked on top of my graphics cards. So then I have to go and troubleshoot my graphics cards to make sure that those aren't damaged, because those are like $700 graphics cards. I will say this, I did speak to the chief executive officer over at Swiftech on the phone directly, and basically they wanted me to send my unit in, and they would think about, oh, let me get out of here. Oh crap. They would think about potentially reimbursing me for the damage, for whatever damage I took on my products. And I really wasn't happy with that. I understand that you can't make everybody happy, and it's a risk. If everyone asks for refunds, I mean, I don't think they'd be in business. But I just didn't, you know, I sent them high detailed pictures. They saw it was leaking everywhere. I told them what the issue was. They did send me a new unit out, but I will tell you that I never got anything from Swiftech as far as reimbursement for the power supply. No sort of, I guess, funds to have someone professionally look at my video cards as far as like the circuit boards to make sure they're intact. And needless to say, that's probably the last Swiftech product I'll buy. You know, it's just too much of a risk, guys. I mean, my system costs over $2,000, and for it to just break like that, I would have had a better chance of just hardlining my rig and taking a chance on myself if I fuck it up, saying, all right, well, you know what, if it breaks, then that's on me, because I know that maybe one of the bends I did was wrong, or something I did while I built the computer is completely my fault. It's not like I hooked up the unit and it just stopped working the second day. You know, it was working fine, and it just started to leak because likely poor manufacturing. I mean, you look at the reviews that are on, at least the ones that you can find, some of them do say like, yeah, I had to send my unit back, it was broken, it was a dud, you know, DOA. So these are things you got to take into consideration, because the unit costs over $200. So if you are gonna go ahead and spend that money, you're more than welcome to. I'll link the product in my video description, you can check it out. Just know that you are buying with risk. And I guess the only thing I could suggest is, if you're not home 24/7, or you don't have some sort of monitoring software intact, whether that be for the temperatures of the circuitry or a camera, you know, make sure you got a fire extinguisher, you know, make sure you have a smoke detector. Like, I can't stress that stuff enough, because, you know, what could have happened was something catastrophic. You know, my house could have burned down. I could have got electrocuted really bad. And these are things that I take really seriously, and, you know, I think everyone should. So if you want to buy their product, just take that into consideration, that, you know, you are taking a risk. You know, I don't wish that on anybody, but, you know, some people would rather have something that they could just plug in and forget about it. And I will say that the unit I have now is working fine. Haven't had any problems, except the lights, the RGB lights around the reservoir blew out. They do not work. So again, this has to be a defect. Maybe they'll come out with a version 2. We can hope for that, but, you know, Swiftech, in my opinion, I mean, I don't really think I'll buy from them again. Might do something in the future with EK water blocks and do like a custom bend, and, you know, put my video cards in the loop. So if you guys would like to see something like that, go ahead and let me know. For the most part, I kind of put whatever I want on my channel. Usually it's game related or computer related. So yeah, just let me know, and I hope this video was somewhat educational to the users out there. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye.
Show me.